Up now, we have Sergei Riabov, the Chief Executive Officer at Elementh. Elementh is a blockchain infrastructure designed for e-commerce market, providing all participants with real-time and historical data on stock inventory and price. Can you please give Sergei a very warm welcome to the stage?
Hello, my name is Sergei, and I'm CEO of Elementh project. It's a blockchain infrastructure for e-commerce market. As you know, since the 1990s, there are lots of players in e-commerce market appeared. Some of them are huge, like Amazon or Alibaba, but lots of them are small and medium online stores and marketplaces. And all of them have the same challenges and difficulties. First of all, you can't be really sure when you buy online that you buy an origin product. There are lots of fakes and counterfeit products there, and you can't track them because you can't see if it was manufactured at some factory or something, or even that it was bought by a distributor that has illegal goods. The second problem is that lots of products have different names and even different codes all over the world. In US there are some UPC codes, EN codes in Europe, etc. And most of distributors in B2B, they even don't use these codes, they use their own articles, and you can't compare the same products because you have different codes and you have different names on the same products. So, in the last year, we see lots of decentralized marketplaces, and they appear now faster. And in a few years, we'll have here the same problems. We'll get lots of different nomenclature and lots of same goods with different names, and it will be the same house as in e-commerce market right now. So we see the solution. It's the Elementh project, and it solves this way. First, we put all the stock inventory and prices in blockchain so that you can see who is the real owner of the goods right now at this moment, and you can track if these goods were sold to another player, and you can track, for example, counterfeit this way. But to compare the same products here, we need something like a standard classification, and we put the information about each good in IPFS with pictures and all attributes and all information about goods. We have already working business in Russia since 2012. It's a mixed company, and it has more than 200 customers already, with some huge ones, some like Sberbank and Ulmort in Russia, and also partnership with SAP Hybris. It's the hugest ERP system used worldwide by most of retailers and distributors. And you see the main goal of this company is to match the different names of products with machine learning algorithms, and we are one of few players in this market in the world who did it not the manual way. And right now we see the problem that the resistance of market is that companies should share the information about their stock with us, and we get money for this information. They, of course, don't like it. So right now we create the Elementh as a non-profit organization in Singapore, and we create only the infrastructure, the foundation, and the owner of all this information, all this data, would be the market by itself. So all retailers and distributors and others, they will own all this information and can choose if they want to share it to everyone publicly or just some other players. For example, you don't want to share all information about all your sales to everyone. And of course, we move all our current customers from mixed company to Elementh and use the blockchain here. And as an infrastructure of Elementh, we see it will be lots of different applications created above it. For example, you can create decentralized marketplaces in a few clicks. You can track the counterfeit products. You can, for example, find any products by geolocation. Or you even can do a bank scoring because any company can share the information about their sales, and it will be transparent because it's a blockchain. We have a great team. Our experience in e-commerce market is more than 10 years. We started in 2007 with our own online stores, and we have great developers. Some of them we're developing HitBTC exchange, for example, and they also have huge experience in e-commerce projects. We also have advisors. They help us with integration with SAP Hybris, also with marketing and investor relations in US. E-commerce market is huge, you know. In B2C, it's about $2 trillion in the world, but B2B e-commerce is twice huge. So the whole market, B2B plus B2C, is about $6 trillion in a year. So it's really huge. But we don't go to get the percent of this market. We are going to create only an infrastructure for it. We have some competitors, of course. In non-blockchain, it's the Indian company Indix. It's the hugest player, right, which also use the machine learning algorithms to matching the product cards, but they're really, really expensive. In our case, Elementh is a non-profit organization, and you know, most of information will be free for all players. In blockchain, people usually compare us with VeChain. It's a Chinese company creating a supply chain infrastructure, but you know, the supply chain is mostly about logistics. It's mostly about hardware to track the real movement, offline movement of products from one store to another. And in our case, we don't need information about logistics. We are creating something like sales chain, where you can see if the ownership of goods is changing. And we are discussing with some companies like VeChain right now to get also and complete the information with supply chain information to our blockchain and vice versa. We start public sale on 1st of April. The total supply is 300 million tokens, and hard cap is 31.5 Ethereum. And that's all. You can participate in our token sale in 5 days, or I can answer your questions there. Thank you.